Let's learn about the first pharyngeal arch derivative. In the first pharyngeal arch gives rise to bones, muscles, ligament, arteries and nerve. All these can be remembered with the mnemonic, that is tense man is the mnemonic for the first pharyngeal arch derivatives. The first pharyngeal arch derivative is also called the Meckel's cartilage. And from the mnemonic man, it is also called the mandibular arch because the bone mandible is derived from the first pharyngeal arch, so it is also called the mandibular arch. The first pharyngeal arch is also called the Meckel's cartilage or mandibular arch, and the bones which are derived from the first pharyngeal arch are malleus, ear ossicle, first ear ossicle, that is malleus, and the second ear ossicle near to malleus is incus, and mandible from the mnemonic tense man, mandible is derived from the first pharyngeal arch, and the bone near mandible is maxilla is also derived from the first pharyngeal arch, and part of the sphenoid, that is spine of sphenoid, is derived from the first pharyngeal arch. And the ligament derived from the first pharyngeal arch is remembered by here spine of the sphenoid. From the sphenoid to mandible there is a connection, so sphenomandibular ligament is derived from the first pharyngeal arch. And the nerve derived from the first pharyngeal arch or called the mandibular arch, it is called mandibular arch, so the nerve mandibular nerve and the bone mandible is also derived from the first pharyngeal arch. And as the maxillary bone is derived from the first pharyngeal arch, the artery is maxillary artery which is derived from the first pharyngeal arch. And the muscles are the muscles which are attached with the mandible are derived from the first pharyngeal arch, that is main muscles of mastication, which are lateral pterygoid, medial pterygoid, masseter and temporalis. And mylohyoid muscle is also derivative of first pharyngeal arch. And anterior belly of digastric, where this anterior belly of digastric arises from the mandible, so it is also a derivative of first pharyngeal arch. And from the mnemonic tense, here we have the tensor palatini and tensor tympani, also the derivative of pharyngeal arches. And this is the diagrammatic representation of the derivatives of first pharyngeal arch, that is malleus. Here is a malleus, and the bone next to it, next to the malleus, the incus, these two ear ossicles along with the mandible, and we have a maxilla, and spine of the sphenoid is also a derivative of first pharyngeal arch. And the muscles from the mandible, that is anterior belly of digastric and mylohyoid, which get inserted into the ramus of mandible, and lateral pterygoid, and the muscles of mastication which include lateral pterygoid, temporalis, all get inserted into the mandible. Other than that, masseter muscle, mylohyoid, and tensor tympani and tensor palatini. And the ligament is from the spine to mandible, so it is a sphenomandibular ligament. And the nerve is mandibular nerve, and artery which belongs to the first pharyngeal arch is maxillary artery.